What's going on, guys? My name's Emmanuel and welcome to my channel. Donald Miller said, in the age of information, ignorance is a choice. And to be honest, guys, I first heard of HYLIION Inc. back in June when it was around $10 a share, and I chose to completely ignore this company. And 2 months on, it actually hurts me to say this, guys, but 2 months on, the company is now trading at around $35 a share, and that's over a 270% gain that I completely missed out on, all because I chose to ignore this company. And yes, I'm completely gutted, but that will be the last time, and mark my words, guys, that will be the last time that I choose to sleep on any company that comes across my radar. And if any of you guys suggest a company in the comment section below, I will dedicate at least 10 minutes of my time reading up on the company. And if I'm interested or it's something that really does catch my attention, then I'll do a full analysis and of course I'll share it with you guys. So in today's video, guys, we will be looking at the company profile of HYLIION Inc., which at the moment can only be purchased through Tortoise Acquisition Corp. And the ticker symbol is SHLL. I will explain how that merger actually works and also the dates leading up to it. I also want to take a look at the types of products and the services that HYLIION currently provide. We'll take a look at some of the financial summaries that they provided for us. And hopefully after all of this, guys, we'll have a solid answer to the question, is it too late to buy HYLIION Inc.? But before we dive into the video, guys, please don't forget to give this video a like, as it really helps my channel grow. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button, guys, to stay up to date with my latest stock analysis, any major stock related news, and everything stocks related, guys. And with that said, guys, let's hop into today's video.
Alright guys, so as always, all the information I share in today's presentation can be found on the investors page on HYLIION's website, okay? And people have requested that I demonstrate how to actually access this information. And it's pretty quite simple, guys. All you have to do is go on Google, you type in HYLIION Investor Relations, and it's usually the first link. So once you click on it, it takes you to the investors page. And you can pretty much do this, guys, for any company that you want to do your due diligence on. And as long as the company is publicly traded, or in HYLIION's case, is about to be publicly traded, then they should have an investor page that provides you with all of the information you need, or at least some of the information that you might need to make an invested decision, okay? So let's head back to the slides because I have made my notes. Right, so we're talking about HYLIION Inc. I don't know if it's HYLIION or HYLIION. I'm going to call it HYLIION, guys, alright? So forgive my dialect, but we're talking about HYLIION Inc. And before we go into the fundamentals of the company, guys, we first have to explain the merger that's going on with Tortoise Acquisition Corp. So on June 19th, 2020, HYLIION Inc. announced a merger with Tortoise Acquisition, and the ticker for Tortoise Acquisition Corp is SHLL, okay guys? So let me take you to that announcement now. So as you can see, guys, this was released on the 19th of June, and it says HYLIION Inc. and Tortoise Acquisition Corp. announced merger, combined company to remain listed on the New York Stock Exchange, okay? So the key points from this press release is again reaffirming that HYLIION will be merging with Tortoise Acquisition Corp. and the newly combined company will remain on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol HYLN. So the pro forma implied market capitalization of the combined company would be over 1.5 billion. So that's the estimated market cap once the merger has been completed. The transaction also includes an upsized $325 million, which is a fully committed PIPE. And if you're not familiar with what a PIPE means, PIPE is simply a private investment in public equity, okay? A private investment in a public equity, which is PIPE, is the buying of shares of publicly traded stock at a price below the current market value per share, okay? So they're pretty much getting in early, essentially, with this investment. Another key point is that the proceeds will be used to fully fund the commercialization and mass production of the company's electrified powertrain solutions, okay? So that's what HYLIION is saying they're going to use that finances for. And if you're not familiar with the role of Tortoise Acquisition, guys, they are a SPAC. So it says here that Tortoise Acquisition Corp is a special purpose acquisition company. So that's an abbreviation for a SPAC. And it's formed for the purpose of effecting a merger onto the stock exchange, acquisitions, reorganizations, or similar business combinations with one or more businesses. So that's the purpose of Tortoise Acquisition Corp in a nutshell. They take on businesses and merge with businesses and make them available on the stock exchange for us retail investors to trade on. I hope that actually makes sense, guys. So that's the role that Tortoise Acquisition Corp is playing. And something similar has actually happened with Nikola. They are also going into a merger. There's many other companies that do this, but for some reason this year there's been quite a lot of SPACs that's been developing. One other key point, guys, that I need to bring to your attention is the transaction overview. So in terms of the completion of the funds and the completion of the merger, they are saying that completion of the proposed transaction is subject to customary closing conditions and is expected, so not guaranteed, is expected to be completed around the end of the third quarter of 2020. Okay, so again, that's considering that all the closing conditions are met, then they're expected to complete around the end of the third quarter of 2020. So keep that in mind, guys. Keep this point in mind. It's very, very important. So essentially, guys, to invest in HYLIION right now ahead of the merger, you would actually have to invest in Tortoise Acquisition Corp. So if you are on your broker, if you type in HYLIION, nothing will come up. You would actually have to type in Tortoise Acquisition Corp. Or if you type in the ticker symbol SHLL, then you'll find that company. So that's you pretty much getting in ahead of the merger, okay? So the merger and the fee transactions, like we read, will be completed. So again, that's subject to closing conditions being met around the end of the third quarter of 2020. So that's pretty much September. And the new ticker will be HYLN, okay, guys? So it will no longer be SHLL. The new ticker on your trading platforms will be HYLN. So anticipation of this merger is one of the main catalysts for Tortoise Acquisition's 270% exponential rise, guys. It has to be. Think about it. We're approaching the end of August. At some point by the end of September, this merger will be announced, okay? So because of that, there's loads of anticipation going on right now. And as I started to read more into this company and starting to understand the company and where it's at, I'm starting to think, is this a case of a buy the rumor, sell the news? I'm really starting to think that, because a 270% rise on anticipation of a merger, that's a lot, guys. That is crazy. For something that isn't confirmed yet, that's a huge, huge rise. And I think this might just be a case of buy the rumor, sell the news. Alright, guys, so with that said, let's take a look at HYLIION Inc. Okay, what's the story of this company? Okay, so HYLIION's mission is to eliminate the carbon intensity and reduce the greenhouse gas emissions of commercial transportation Class A vehicles. So those are your large trucks. You know, in this country we call it lorries. You know, those huge lorries that you see on the motorway. So that's pretty much their goal. That's their focus, all right? And it's by providing an electrified powertrain solution, okay? So I want to take a look at their their potential revenue generators, and also the products and the services that HYLIION currently provide. So the first one, guys, is their Hypertruck ERX, okay? And this is HYLIION's very own natural gas electric powered Class A vehicle. I want us to take a look at how it works, okay? So here we are, guys. This is the mechanics of the HYLIION ERX. You pretty much have an RNG fuel generator, so that's where the natural gas will be filled, and that will then charge the batteries, which will be positioned at the front of the vehicle, and the batteries will power the e-motor, which is right here, and then the e-motor is what will drive the rear axle and provide regenerative braking. Okay, so that's pretty much the flow of the design. It's quite slick. It's quite innovative, to be honest. If you look at the flow, it's pretty straightforward as well, and quite simple in my opinion. That's how they plan to achieve their goal. They've also got a little demo video for us, guys. As you can see, there it is, the ERX. Okay, is it drifting? All right, it's got drifting capabilities, guys. So that's crazy. All right, show us the truck. Enough drifting. It's showing off now. But yeah, I mean, it looks really good, guys. It looks good. Fully electric, with the natural gas emissions. It does look futuristic. Oh, 0 to 60 in 20 seconds. I can run faster than that. But yeah, going green, never felt so powerful. And there you go. That's their promo video. So it's a really, really good looking truck. Don't know why they had to show the drift. But hey, at least you know you can drift with your truck. So that's their ERX product, guys, okay? And now moving on to their next product, it's the hybrid powertrain solution electric units. And in my opinion, guys, I put in brackets here, game changer. I think for me personally, this is more exciting than the actual truck. And the reason why is this is HYLIION's hybrid diesel electric system, okay, which can be installed, according to the CEO, onto any Class 8 vehicle from any manufacturer. So what they're pretty much saying is that customers can keep their own trucks and have the HYLIION hybrid diesel units installed, and instantly their existing trucks or their existing fleet of trucks can become more environmentally friendly. Now that's a game changer. Think about it. If I own a fleet of trucks, to then replace all of my trucks with, the HYLIION's Hypertruck ERX, that's going to cost a lot of money. We haven't even looked into the price of one of these trucks just yet. But if I can take one of their systems and install it onto my existing fleet of trucks, which will make it more environmentally friendly, I'm more interested in that. And this is why I think this is going to be the game changer for HYLIION. All right, guys, so let's take a look at how this actually works. I want to break down their components, okay, guys. So this is the components of their installation, guys. So as you can see here, they have the battery packs, which will be installed on your existing truck. They will also install the electric axle that will provide power to the rear drive. And then you've got the control units and you've got the thermal management right here, okay. So it does look pretty simple. I don't know how the installation process will take place entirely, but looking at the components breakdown, it doesn't look complicated at all. Just an installation of a battery, a thermal management system, a control unit, and an electric axle, and bish bash bosh, your truck is now environmentally friendly. So is it too good to be true? I don't know, guys. And if you do have a lot more information regarding how trucks are built, then please comment below as to whether this is realistic or not. But just from the way the components are broken down for us, it does look quite straightforward. And finally, guys, they do have another product and service, and that's the battery pack solution. That's pretty much straightforward, guys. It's a battery pack. It's HYLIION's proprietary battery management system, and it supports all HYLIION chemistries for both hybrid and also for the fully electric vehicle requirements. Okay, guys, so that's the fundamentals of HYLIION Inc. Right, guys, so now we have an idea of the products and the services. Let's take a look at how these products compare price-wise. HYLIION have actually done a great job breaking it down for us, okay. So we're on page 9 if you are following along. So available today, guys, you have obviously the HYLIION's truck, and then also you have these current diesel ones. Not really familiar with these manufacturers, but as of right now, if you look at the cost price, it will cost you $404,493 versus $431,850. Straight away, you're saving over 27k versus a normal diesel truck, which is not environmentally friendly. So looking at the price there, it seems like a no-brainer. And if you look at the future solutions as well, so now they're factoring in Tesla trucks and also Nikola's trucks. From a price point of view, guys, the savings with HYLIION is even more dramatic. I mean, versus a Tesla, you're saving pretty much over 100k. And then looking at a Nikola truck, you're saving even more at over 300k. So this is all extremely positive stuff for HYLIION. But of course, guys, we cannot make an investing decision without taking a look at the financials, okay? Remember, guys, this isn't yet a publicly traded company, and we haven't got access to the entire financials for us to analyze, but they have provided us with a financial overview, and I'm going to take you to that slide now. All right, guys, so we are now at their financial overview, and if you scroll down, taking a look at their sources of income at the moment, and you can see, guys, here that pretty much a huge chunk of their revenue source has been from Tortoise Acquisition Corp in the shares through the PIPE. They've got also cash held in trusts, $235,000 from cash held in trusts, and private placement proceeds, 325 million. Okay, straight away, guys, the cash that they have is not really impressive, I have to be honest. And as you can see here, guys, it says completion of the transaction is expected to occur around the end of the third quarter. I keep on seeing this word expected. I don't know why the word expected seems to stick out to me, but looking at their sources at the moment, it's sitting on about 1,560,000 dollars. Okay, now guys, let's take a look at their financial summary. Okay, so how have they currently been performing? How many units have they sold? Let's get into the numbers. So the hybrid electric units sold. Now remember guys, that's the units that they install on your existing trucks to make it more environmentally friendly. And for 2020, they've sold a whopping 20 units. They've sold 20 units, guys. The ERX trucks I don't know why I'm laughing. I'm so sorry. That's not professional of me. Let me get professional. But yes, they've sold 20 units of the hybrid. In terms of the actual trucks, the ERX trucks, despite it drifting, they've sold none so far this year. Total units sold 20. Again, that's the hybrid. That's generated a revenue of 1 million. It says here it's in millions. So it's generated a revenue of 1 million. The cost of goods sold also cost them 1 million. Leaving them a gross profit of 0. Right. Okay, moving on to their estimates for next year. So for some reason, they're expecting to sell 300 units by next year. So between now and next year, they're going to go from 20 units sold to 300 units sold. I have no idea how they plan to do this. But if they do manage to accomplish this, that will generate a revenue of 8 million. Do not expect to sell any ERX trucks as well by the end of next year. But if they do manage to actually hit their target of 300 units of their hybrid, that will generate a revenue of $8 million, and the cost of goods will be 6 million, or have a gross profit of 2 million. Okay, so that's quite positive. Okay, that's a positive to take away from this financial summary. But my concern is how are they going to all of a sudden jump from 20 units sold to 300 units sold? They might have to employ Grant Cardone or someone like, or Jordan Belfort or something like that. Because that's a huge jump, you know. That's 280 units more within a year. And then going on to 2022, wow, look at that. They expect to sell 4,100. And also the trucks, they expect to sell 2,500 trucks, which will obviously generate huge revenue of 344 million. And their gross profit will be sitting at 96 million. So again, that's in 2022. And they expect to double this in 2023 and also in 2024. Okay. The question is, guys, is HYLIION stock a buy? Okay. And I always like to do this part with a quote. And I'm going to give a quote from Warren Buffett. And he says, if you aren't thinking about owning a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes. And that's so true. And in this case with HYLIION, I love what the company represents. I love what they're doing, and I do see them playing a vital role in the push for a greener economy. However, until this merger is finalized and we can see their full financials, as of right now, it's a high spec play, guys. It is a high spec play, and the incredible run it's had so far, I think, is a case of buy the rumor, sell the news. So I personally would prefer to wait for the merger to actually happen, because at the moment it's still expected to. I would wait for the merger to actually happen to see where the price falls before I decide to invest in HYLIION. So that's where I'm at with this company, guys.
Guys, the reality is the renewable energy sector is experiencing massive growth. Very similar to the EV sector. And HYLIION is a combination of both. And you can argue this mass expansion in these sectors is all driven by innovation, customer demand, and of course environmental safety awareness. And therefore there is a ton of growth potential for HYLIION Inc. as they are well positioned in a developing sector. The huge risk from my point of view is if this deal or this merger falls through, then that's a wrap. And at the moment, all we're hearing from HYLIION Inc. is that it's expected to go through. I would much rather prefer to hear them say that this is definitely, or at least is guaranteed to go through, for me to be confident putting my money in this company. So for me personally, guys, I'm choosing to sit on the sideline for this company. Like I said, I will keep a close eye on it. It is currently in my watch list, but I'm already invested in a company that I like and I'm also awaiting news on, and that's of course Workhorse. We are still none the wiser with Workhorse and the current UPS contracts, and I don't really want to invest in HYLIION and be hoping and praying that this merger also goes through. So that's my thoughts, guys, but ultimately, as we always say on this channel, please make sure you do your own due diligence and your own analysis before you decide to invest in any company or in any stock. Remember guys, I am not a financial advisor. I just love researching and investing in stocks. All the links to help you with your investing are in the description below, including some books that I highly always recommend. Plus, my broker Trading 212 will send us both a free share if you sign up using the link in the description below. With all that said guys, don't forget to smash the like button if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to see more content from myself. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.